Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Joining B.J. Rains today is KTVB Sports Director Jay Tust. Check him out on Twitter at KTVB Sports Guy and make sure to check out KTVB.com. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now here's Jay Tust and B.J. Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
I'm watching that intro there, Jay. We have some fun on this show. There's some funny Matt Boucher walking off the plane, and there's just joking around with drunk guys at the James on the post-game show with Kent Riddle. I mean, it's been a fun 18 months or whatever it's been now with Bronco Nation News Live, Bronco Nation News. And thanks to Colin Mitchell before he left. He updated the intro video a couple weeks ago, and I don't know why. I've seen it 50 times, but I was just sitting there watching some of those clips, and I was like, man, it's been a fun ride, man. And happy to have Jay Tust along for that ride. Sports director at KTVB, joins us twice a week. He's severely underpaid, so go subscribe so I can up his pay and keep him around for football season. Go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. Better yet, come to the golf tournament. We can pay Jay with some of the golf tournament money. So come to the golf tournament, get your free glove, watch Jay hit one 400 yards on the opening tee shot, and we'd like to see you June 2nd. How's it going, Jay?
I'm good. 3 weeks away from this Friday. Is that right?
It is pretty crazy. Yeah, I was putting together the guest list, and it keeps getting more and more impressive by the day. We have, everybody knows about Coach Rice and Coach Burns and Coach Duryea. We got a lot of current players playing as well, whether it be Tyson Degenhardt, RJ Keene, who are both going to be involved in the celebrity shot on hole 17. So each group's going to get a chance to meet them, get a photo with them, and then potentially use their tee shot. And then we got some football players, one who we'll talk about today, Riley Smith, DJ Schramm, Jonah Dalmas, Tubner, Canijo, a lot of guys. Actually, Luke Voorhees is playing as well, too. The tight ends will be out there this week, but we got some coaches, Coach Schultz, but he may, if they're in the College World Series, I'm not sure which one he'd choose, but he may have to decline if they're in the College World Series for softball. I'm excited about a couple newcomers, though. Sean Garris, the volleyball coach, who is a very good golfer. He will be out there playing as well. And then Gordy Presnell, not a big golfer, but has agreed to come out and hang out and speak to the crowd for a little bit. So excited to have Gordy Presnell out there as well. So a lot of other folks as well. And so it is really going to be a who's who of, the local team in the blue and orange. And so excited to have them out there. And that's not even talking about a lot of the former players, whether it's Winston Venable, Matt Boucher, Vinny Peretta is going to be out there, Ryan Winterswick. Who else? I don't want to leave some people out. We got Thomas Spurbeck, Jonah, who's the Tyler Rasa. Kent Riddle's going to be out there, former coach. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you'll join us. I need like 4 or 5 more foursomes. Let's go, folks. Buy a foursome. Help us sell this thing out. Raise more money for the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. And it's going to be a lot of fun. June 2nd at Timberstone. So get more information, BroncoNationNews.com/golf. Jay, have you played around or even taken a shot, or can we get you out there? Do you need one of these? I got the free round at Timberstone cards here. Would you like to try to get out to play around before?
I might need one of those. Yeah, I located my golf clubs yesterday.
Okay, that's a start.
Because I was just trying to keep my mind busy by cleaning the garage out.
Nothing on your plate, nothing on your mind these days. So I know you just have so much free time sitting around to go play golf. So we need to get
absolutely.
you out on the course before June. You at least got to get to the driving range that week before the
I hope so. I hope so.
We do have a little debate. I mean, we have to maybe we raise some more money for the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, but the Atkinson's Mirror and Glass was wanting you back, and now there's some other groups that are wanting you too. So we'll have to figure out, what we're going to do.
I never would
here.
have thought of that. Wow.
So, you're in high demand, Jay Tust, for the Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament. And quick shout out to the Morales brothers, Derek and Jordan. They do such a tremendous job. We had a meeting on Sunday, and they're back as volunteers, and we're a little more official. Last year we kind of showed up, and here's what we're doing. We actually had a little meeting, Jay, on Sunday for the volunteers to try to it's going to be with the afternoon flight as well. There's a lot more logistics involved, so we got the volunteers together and found out we got to have a witness, by the way, at the hole-in-one. Last year we got lucky, nobody made it, but we wouldn't have counted last year if somebody made the hole-in-one because we didn't have an extra witness at the hole, according to the contract that's on the insurance from Lithia Ford. And now it's going to be even more official because they'll have the vehicle out there, and we will have somebody watching the hole. And so we got to have some more volunteers, more logistics involved. But on a Sunday afternoon, the Morales brothers, among others, gave up like an hour of their time to come hang out, and we appreciate them and their support of BNN, and I just wanted to give them a quick shout out. They're going to be out there bright and early before 6 a.m. helping set up, having Jay's cart all ready, gassed up, ready to go when he arrives, a minute before tee off. And,
yeah, exactly.
We appreciate the Morales brothers and what they're doing in the Blue Collar Club as well. And speaking of the Blue Collar Club, Jay, we're going to talk tight ends, by the way, here in a little bit and talk football. But speaking of the Blue Collar Club, I was talking to our friend Joel York, who kind of heads up the Blue Collar Club. He reached out to me yesterday. He's actually flying to San Diego to support the softball team in the conference tournament. I said, you got work meetings out there or what? He goes, no, I'm going to watch some softball. So shout out to Joel York. He'll be out there, the Blue Collar Club. And I believe the team leaves either today or tomorrow. They play Thursday. They'll play the winner of the San Jose Fresno State game. But the softball team, Jay, me and Johnny briefly touched on it yesterday, but obviously first appearance of the week for you. They win the conference championship on Friday. I said Saturday originally because I forgot the series was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They win the first two games on Thursday and Friday. They win the second regular season Mountain West title in program history. And again, I know they only started in 2009 in the WAC. They're a fairly new program, by those standards, but win the conference title. And now, still some work to do here at the conference tournament. As I know you talked to Coach Schultz too, but he told me, he's like, last year I was ticked off. They didn't have a conference tournament. This year I'm ticked off. They do have one because they could have already been in the tournament, but they win the conference. Huge accomplishment, and more work to be done this week at the conference tournament.
Yeah. First off, Joel's an awesome dude, and I love how much he cares about Boise State athletics. I mean, he is good, and same with the Morales brothers. Those guys are amazing as well. I actually saw them out at the softball game. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? Can't really remember, but yeah, saw them not too long ago. And
is that the 4-hour game we sat through together?
I know, right? Jeez. But I'm excited for the softball team. And I know that you guys talked about this yesterday, so I don't know how much time you want to spend on it. But Justin Schultz has really done an amazing job in 2 seasons over there. And to the point where I know that his tenure is only 2 seasons, but as a head coach in the Mountain West, he has like the highest or one of the highest winning percentages of all time for a softball coach in the league. And I think that just because he's been here for such a short amount of time, that might be overlooked, but he is a winner, man, and they aren't going anywhere but up. Seems like facility upgrades are on the way. I know that I kind of piggybacked off your tweet the other day, BJ, talking about lights, and I was talking about it with a certain administrator over at Boise State not too long ago, and it's cool that the Boise State women's softball team or the Boise State softball team went out and they got it done. Like, they are forcing the issue now that they basically put an end date on this thing. The Boise State has to have lights, or else they're not going to rightfully host a conference tournament that they went out and they earned. And I just think that's awesome. And this team is really dangerous. Their offense has carried them all season long. This last weekend at Fresno State, their pitching, Lindsey Walljasper as well as Taylor Cottle, were really, really good. And it's going to take a team effort to emerge on top of this conference championship that looms in just a few days.
Yeah, there's the bracket. San Jose State, Fresno State will play at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Boise State plays the winner as the 1 seed. Then they will go down the line there, double elimination tournament. And it does sound like, Jay, I know you've heard the same thing, but it sounds like at a minimum, they plan to be able to bring in some portable lights to be able to host the tournament. So I think that's going to happen. They're going to try to get some full-time lights put in, but you're seeing with the soccer field, that's not as easy as just getting the money and putting it in. There's city things you have to get approved and waivers and things like that. But it does sound like at a minimum, those like portable lights you see in parking lots and stuff, they'll bring those in and they'll be able to host the conference tournament. And yeah, Justin was funny about that. We were talking about it. Like, he's like, yeah, as soon as I hang up with you, I got to go call Jeremiah and find out what the plan is and what day those are going in. Cause he's been putting the pressure on the athletic department with winning. And I think even Jeremiah put out a tweet like, you put it, here we go. We got to get it done now. I mean, he's putting the pressure on him, but I think that's a good problem for the university to have. He wants the turf. He wants the lights. They need to expand the stadium, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a lot of things they need to do. I mean, 350 bleacher seats when they're getting 1,000 fans for some of these games is not enough. And I think they all know that. And I know they had some goals to improve the facilities at the soccer or at the softball field, but as you said, Justin Schultz is certainly putting the pressure on Jeremiah Dickey and company to speed that up.
Well, even Donna Larson Park, when it was originally constructed, it felt like it was more of just let's get this thing up and meet Title IX demands and those things. I don't know if it was meant to necessarily be an elite venue for entertainment. And now you look at a team that in back-to-back seasons has reset the program record in home runs. They still have a ton of talent coming back next year. And it just feels like this is a program that's scratching the surface of their potential. And Justin Schultz sees it. Like, if you can... I think another reason why to act with a sense of urgency is because you have something really good with Justin Schultz. And if you can upgrade the venue, if you can probably pay him a little bit more, he's a guy that could be here, it feels like, for a while. I mean, he really likes Boise and sees the potential in it. And it just seems like that. And he and the field are worth the investment when you see the product that they've been running out there. They have been elite over the last 2 years. And they're competing with San Diego State, a perennial power. San Diego State gets to play, home games way earlier in the year, and they've been a perennial power in this league. And there are certain things that Boise State won't be able to overcome. But one thing they also need is they need turf. They need to be able to get on their field earlier. It reminds me of my high school days. Like, I went to Stadium High School. For those of you that don't know, that's the high school and 10 Things I Hate About You. And it looks like a castle. It's beautiful, but we don't have an on-campus baseball field. So literally all of our practices for varsity, we're in our gym. We dropped the hitting net. We took ground balls on literally the hardwood floor, which the custodians and everybody just absolutely, and basketball coach absolutely just loved. But we had to do that. And that's kind of like what the softball team has to do, because the field doesn't drain super well.
They didn't play sorry to cut you off, Jay, but they didn't play a single practice outside until they got to UCF the day before their season opener. I
mean, think about that for a second. Like, they didn't get outside. They were practicing inside the Kevin Williams Sports Complex all the way up until their season opener.
Against the top 15 team who'd been practicing outside for a month.
Right, exactly. And I think that says a lot about the program and what they've been able to do, despite the fact that, they haven't been dealt optimal circumstances.
Well, again, good luck to Coach Schultz and the softball team. They will play Thursday. We'll talk about that. And then we'll obviously on Friday talk about how Thursday's game went. We're going to talk Boise State tight ends, Riley Smith. What should we expect from the group in just a second? But first, here's a quick message from our proud sponsor, Sound Story.
Mother's Day is coming up, and I have the perfect gift for you to give your mom this year. It's Sound Story. Hi, this is Joe Buck. Every year we try to come up with the best gift to show our moms how much we appreciate everything they have sacrificed and all they have done for our families. With Sound Story, you can give a gift that mom will love and the whole family will love as well. Sound Story gives you and your family, brothers, sisters, and or moms, grandchildren, whatever, the chance to tell stories of your childhood, your memories of the lessons your mom taught you, and the love she has given you. Sound Story is an hour-long interview conducted in person or via Zoom by your choice of B.J. Raines, John Mallory, Mike Prater, or David McKenzie, and it couldn't be easier to purchase. Just go to mysoundstory.com, click on gift certificates, and present your mom with a gift on Mother's Day that she will treasure. And right now, all you have to do is enter promo code BNN15 to save 15% on your Mother's Day Sound Story gift card. Just go to mysoundstory.com and enter promo code BNN15 for 15% off your Mother's Day gift that she and your family will never forget.
What's up, y'all? It's RJ Keenan and Tyson Degenhart. We'll be coming out here at Timberstone June 2nd for the Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament. We're trying to raise money for the Idaho Sports Commission, and we want y'all here. It's going to be a fun day of golf. It's going to be beautiful weather and great people. Some of our coaches are going to be there too, special guests. For more information, sign up for BroncoNationNews.com, and we'll have a great time. See you there.
Well, there you go. We will see you there. I'm excited about that. And they've both agreed to participate in the celebrity shot, as I said. So you're going to get a chance to meet them, interact with them at the tee box at hole 17. And that'll be a lot of fun. But let's talk tight ends, Jay. I know it's to some maybe not the most exciting position on the field and maybe not the one that makes the biggest impact. Don't tell these players' parents or themselves, obviously. But yesterday was offensive line. Today's tight ends. It's not the quarterbacks. It's not the running backs. I get it. But the tight ends are, when I put the question out there, as I do every year, what questions do you have? What storylines do you have? Sure enough, there were 2 or 3 people that wrote back, are the tight ends going to contribute? What do we want? What are we going to get from the tight ends? I mean, people love the tight ends, Jay, at Boise State, don't they? It's like an infatuation, the tight end position at Boise State, going back to the, early Jared Zabransky, early 2000s, when the tight ends would be in the ones in motion and moving around and having all this big impact. Ever since, the tight ends, for whatever reason, and are the tight ends going to get more balls? Seems like that was the question Kent Riddle every year we'd ask him.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that hopefully this goes back to the Jake Rowe days, right, where Jake was catching like 35, 40 passes in a season, and it was awesome. But he was also a little bit of a different tight end. It's not like he couldn't have put his hand in the ground, and line up in line. But he spent a lot of time kind of split out, more acting as a wide receiver. And I don't know if they've had a guy quite like him since. Riley Smith was kind of in that mold, but now Riley's up to like 245. I mean, he is a versatile, big tight end that can really do whatever you ask of him. And so I don't think that, having a 40 catch season should be like the expectation, right? I think that if Riley can get into the range of a 30 catch season, I feel like that would be a success for him. I really do. I feel like that should be kind of, I guess, the expectation, but just kind of recalibrating things a little bit, because I don't think that the norm is having a tight end go up and grab, 40 passes in a season. And then on top of that is, how do you complement him? Can Matt Lauder continue to make an impact and get increased playing time? Tyneal Hopper is now gone. He's at Michigan State. He utilized a grad transfer and entered the portal and wound up in East Lansing. So that will definitely give a guy like Matt Lauder a big-time opportunity coming into the 2023 season.
And I think part of the tight end position maybe not being quite as involved in the passing game is, look at who Taylor Green has to throw to at receiver. I mean, the receiving room is stacked this year. Riley Smith did prove, Jay, to be a pretty good, I don't even want to say check down. That's not fair, but I thought he was a nice safety blanket for Taylor Green at times last year. 25 catches, a career high last year for Riley Smith. Also a career high in receiving yards as well, 214. So, I mean, he has, he only had 8 catches the year before. We've been waiting. And last year, 25 and 214, like a nice, quiet, solid season for your tight end when you have those receivers. But, you mentioned 25 to 30. Can he go 35? I mean, what was Jake Rowe's career high, like around 35, I believe? I'm trying to remember exactly what it was.
I think it was 39.
39 I almost said 39. That comes to mind. So, I mean, is there any possible way, or if he can get over 25, if he can get to 25 again, are we calling that a successful season?
I would. Well, I think the thing that a lot of people forget too, or they might even count against tight ends. By the way, his career high 39 in 2017 at 410 receiving yards, 9 touchdown catches that game. He was a red zone weapon. He also, if you remember, lined up in the shotgun or in the Wildcat a few times, even had 2 rushing touchdowns. Talking about Jake Rowe. But
the 60-year guy. So Riley Smith needs a rushing touchdown this year.
He does. We still need to see the passing
the ball and the sweep, and passing one would be nice.
With Riley having quarterback roots, he initially committed to Boise State as a quarterback. It feels like at some point in time that's got to be utilized. Like Bush Hamden's got to be over there scheming something up, a double reverse. I don't know what the heck it is, but something that would get Riley Smith an opportunity, or give Riley Smith the opportunity to throw a touchdown pass. For Riley though, and I think that this kind of went against him at times last year, is that, early on they had a little bit of trouble protecting the quarterback, and whether that be on the line or the quarterback, I'm not going to get into that today, but either way, they had to kind of keep him in more than maybe they had wanted. And so if you do that, obviously your reception totals are going to drop a little bit because you're in pass protection instead of getting to go out and run routes.
Sure.
And oftentimes I think that is almost counted against the tight end. And you're like, why didn't he catch more passes? Well, it has nothing to do with him and more to do with what's going on. And now he has to adapt and mold, his opportunities to better suit what the team needs. Right. And if the offensive line can hold up this year, and if they have continuity and they protect Taylon Green, then all of a sudden Riley Smith gets to run a few more routes, which will make him available to catch a few more passes. And so I don't even know if it's on Riley to catch more passes this year, BJ. I think it's probably on the pieces around him that will allow him to get out and kind of do those things.
So 24.5 is the Vegas number, 24.5. And would you go over or under?
I'll go over.
Riley Smith. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go over on that. I like what you said, though, too, about the wide receivers. Typically, I mean, this is just the nature of it all, unless you're Travis Kelce, which there's one of one.
Yeah.
Wide receivers are typically more explosive after the catch. It just is what it is. I don't even think that's like a critical thing to say. And so if you have the opportunity to throw to a tight end, or if you have the opportunity to throw to one of Boise State's wide receivers, you would probably prefer to throw to one of the wide receivers, because if they make a guy miss, they could be gone. And there's kind of those limitations usually on a tight end. I think it just is what it is.
Well, hey, Jay, I don't know if you can tell or not because this shirt's a little bigger, but weighed in today, another 2 pounds down.
Let's go.
And, we're rolling thanks to Lean Feast in Meridian. Leanfeast.com/Meridian. Love their food. It's so tasty, so delicious. It's so filling. It's not your typical meal prep service where you get these frozen meals in the mail. It's all fresh. It's all customized. You pick what you want. You pick how much of it you want. 2 minutes in the microwave and you're eating surf and turf for lunch. Healthy, fresh meals. Leanfeast.com/Meridian. Highly recommend going to check them out. Dave and his staff do a tremendous job. He's got some NIL deals with Taylon Green, Ashton Genty. Some other players are coming soon. Highly, highly recommend Lean Feast, one of our new sponsors here. And I'm pretty much eating Lean Feast meals exclusively, Jay, during the month of May. And I can tell an immediate difference. And some of these BNN shirts are starting to fit a little bit better. So not quite ready to give the full amount lost, but it's starting to creep up there a little bit. Leanfeast.com/Meridian. Check them out. They're right there ironically, right next to the Five Guys there near Eagle Road and U-Stick in Meridian. So go check them out. Tell them you heard them on BNN and they'll hook you up with a sweet deal. But it's like cheaper than going to Chipotle or Subway or anything too. It's cheaper and it's better and it's healthier. Check it out. Leanfeast.com/Meridian. We are broadcasting from the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios. They'll be out there at the golf tournament with some free samples. Jay Tust, not sure if you have to go into the office afterwards on Friday, but free samples of Cutwater Spirits on Friday at the golf tournament on June 2nd. So make sure you check that out. I highly recommend the Mai Tais if they've got them out there. The Long Island iced teas are tremendous as well. Cutwater Spirits, more than 30 flavors, premixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. I'm sporting the rowpaint.com hat today. Rowpaint.com. I got the golf balls in too, Jace. They're a real nice Srixon, really nice upgraded golf ball from last year as well. And you get a sleeve of golf balls at the tournament. We may have 2 or 3 sleeves for Jay. That's for the front 9 based on his drives. If we can keep them straight or not, Jay, we'll see. But both logos, BNN and Row Paint on the ball. We appreciate them. 5 times stronger than epoxy to one-day install. Their concrete coatings, highly recommend it. Rowpaint.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, another big sponsor. They're going to have, as we said, the car out there. They're giving away a Ford Bronco Sport for anyone that gets a hole-in-one in the golf tournament. Check them out, LithiaFordBoise.com, for their full inventory of vehicles. It's grilling season. You know what that means. Awesome sales and deals down at Lithia Ford Boise. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. The best in mobile e-branch online banking. More than 550,000 Idahoans have made the switch. The number continues to climb. You can too. Get more information at ICCU.com or check out a local branch. There's one pretty much at every corner. Jay, Riley Smith didn't have to come back for this year. I mean, this is his 6th season. He's been around here for a long time. He's one of the furthest away from home on the team, coming from Florida. I mean, the fact that Riley Smith wanted to come back and be a part of this team for another year, some unfinished business, I think, when it comes to the conference championships and things like that. But what do you make of this Riley Smith wanting to come back and being a team leader, and might be a guy that, isn't the most productive player on the roster in terms of like career stats and things like that, but it's kind of the face of the team, and it wouldn't shock me if he's one of those guys with a picture on the side of the stadium this year. We talk about the production, but everything else that Riley Smith brings to the table, how important is that for this team?
I think it's extremely important, and you know as well as anybody, BJ, like Riley Smith's a great leader. You talk with him, and he loves his role that he's in right now. You can see he's sporting that proud Mountain West graduate logo on that jersey that you're throwing up on the screen. He's an important part of this team, and he's probably one of the more consistent players on the team. Like, I know you want to say like impact and things like that. A lot of his impact probably goes unnoticed in the blocking game, whether it be run or pass. But I think he's also one of the most consistent players on the team, not only in terms of production, but in terms of character. I think he's extremely valued to this Boise State football team this coming season.
We got about 4 minutes left. Let's do hit on some of these other guys, though, because you mentioned Matt Lauder, 4 catches for 40 yards last year, and, kind of came on a little bit. We talked to him this spring, I think was one of the first media sessions he's done. Aside from him, you have Austin Terry, Caden Dawson, Luke Voorhees on the roster, Jack Beresford as well. Again, Riley Smith's going to play a lot, and we'll see what they, how much they use the tight ends and how much they rotate them. Nick Fisher on the ICCU YouTube chat says Coach Hamden definitely used the tight ends at Washington. Ashley English talking about really going to miss Hopper this year. You mentioned Hopper leaving, obviously Rafdal as well. So there is playing time available. What do you make of the group behind Riley Smith?
Riley Smith is a 6th-year senior. Outside of him, they don't have an upperclassman. Everybody else is a redshirt sophomore or younger, and they have very limited playing time. There's probably going to be a lot of pressure on Matt Lauder to really step up this year because Boise State loves to use two tight end sets. And we know that Riley Smith is going to be there, and who's going to complement him? As I said earlier, it's got to be Matt Lauder. It feels like he has the size, the versatility to be that guy. He's very similar to a guy like Riley Smith in terms of stature. He's 6'4", 245. Riley's 6'5", 245. If Boise State's going to take the next step, they need the San Diego native to make a big step in this offense this season. And behind him, you have to have some development. Austin Terry is a redshirt freshman. I'm interested to see Caden Dawson, how he comes in, because besides those guys, you have Jack Beresford, a walk-on. And I know he's got a little bit of experience under his belt, transferred down from Washington State along with his big brother, Jack Beresford, who's going to be a fixture on the offensive line. But they need some of those young guys to really come along and develop over the course of the summer if they're going to put this thing together in the fall.
What are we expecting from Bush Hamden's offense in terms of using the tight ends?
It sounds like they are back to kind of, the Harsin days and prior to that. And, when Bush Hamden played here, Brian Harsin was his offensive coordinator. Chris Peterson was his head coach. When Hamden was at Washington for a minute, Chris Peterson was the head coach. So I think that they're going to kind of get back to shifting and really using those tight ends as almost a chess piece to create mismatches and things like that. And I do think that they're going to be they're going to have a key role in this offense. I don't know if it's a 40 to 50 catch key role, but they're going to have a key role in this offense.
Hey, shout out all of our sponsors, United Commercial Insurance, Boise Dentistry Co. Naismith actually just was over there right now before school getting a tooth pulled at Boise Dentistry Co. Kind of tricked him a little. Didn't let him know why he was going, and then they did pull the tooth. But appreciate Boise Dentistry Co. We're very glad that we made the switch. And Jay, it's not just lip service. I use the sponsors myself. I'm clients. I support these sponsors because they're good companies and they do good work and they support the local community as well. It's not just, hey, we'll throw your stuff up there and take your money and tell people it's a good deal. We use all these companies. We have United Commercial Insurance is our who we use for our business insurance, and we shop at Ridley's, and Matt Bousher does a great job with Bousher Real Estate. And so we just want to thank all of our sponsors. I got short on time, didn't get to give them all their proper love today, but the Blue and Orange store, go check them out. Free shipping, any order over $40. If you need that new job, transportation compliance service can help you out as well. Jay, always appreciate the time. That'll do it for today's show. We'll do it again on Friday. Do we have do we have a fun topic on Friday? I'm trying to remember what's on my list here. Friday will be based on, I don't have the list in front of me. But tomorrow, Cody Gogler is going to join me, and we're going to talk about the fan experience at Albertson Stadium, the new scoreboard this year that'll be up and rolling. What else is new in terms of the lights? What else should be expected for the fan experience? And it looks like we're going to talk the schedule, the record at the end of September. We're going to get into how difficult is this early season schedule, Jay? What record should be expected? What record should fan be okay with? 3-2. I mean, 2-3. I mean, it's a brutal early season schedule. So we'll talk about that on Friday. We'll be watching you all week on KTVB, checking you out on Twitter at KTVB Sports Guy. Always appreciate it, Jay, and we'll talk to you Friday, man.
Sounds good, bud.
There he is, Jay Tust, sports director, KTVB. Always appreciate his time. Always appreciate you guys for checking out the show. Thanks again, Cutwater Studios, and our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Have a great rest of the day. If you missed any of the episode, you can go subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch the full episode, watch yesterday's episode with Johnny or any previous ones as well. Full breaking news. Anything happens, we'll have you covered, BroncoNationNews.com. Otherwise, we'll talk to you tomorrow, 9 a.m., Bronco Nation News Live.